got some soft butter. I'm going to spread both sides of some white bread. Now I'm going to put some Dijon mustard onto the bottom of one piece. Now let's take our cheese. I just want to put some thin slices on top of the bread. And then on with some of the ham. Now it is best to get some fairly thinly sliced ham for this, because otherwise your sandwich will just end up being really thick and take a long time to cook. And then on with the lid, press down, pop some oil into a hot frying pan and a knob of butter. Now this will take just a couple of minutes each side. It wants to be fairly low heat. If it's on too high, you'll end up just toasting the bread, but you want to get the heat to actually come up through the sandwich and melt that cheese. And while that's cooking, I'm going to show you the next canapé. Now I've got some little discs of cucumber here, which are actually a perfect base for a canapé. And to do the topping, I've got a mixture of some dry roasted peanuts and some spring onions. And I've got some North Sea brown shrimps, some cream cheese and some sweet chilli sauce. So let's bring all of these over here. So I'm just going to soften that up slightly. Add some of the sweet chilli sauce, because that works really well with the shrimps. Then just mix this together. So you get this sort of lovely little pink hue to it. And then in with the spring onions and the dry roasted peanuts. I'm just going to mix that up as well. I'm just going to add a pinch of salt, not too much salt because those peanuts will have some salt naturally in them. And then let's get our pieces of cucumber. Now if you want to be posh, try and do some little fancy spoonfuls of this cheese. On the top there, and on with the last one. But I'm going to be using some nice seasonal fresh shrimps, and they've got a lovely sweet juicy flavour to them, and you can just sit them on the top and they'll just be a real change and a surprise. So that is it, that's our peanut shrimps on cucumber. I think the croque monsieur is probably ready to turn over now. Let's just have a look. We'll cook the other side. Now what I've got are some cherry tomatoes, and they've just had the top sliced off, scooped out the centre, all of those seeds, and then the bottom I've just sliced the base so they actually sit upright when you put them onto a plate. Now you can do these well in advance if you want to. And for the mixture I've got some soft goat's cheese, some cream, either single or whipping cream, and some chives, and then I'm going to top it with some caviar. Now I'm cheating here actually, I've got lumpfish caviar, which is a much cheaper version. So, cheese and cream, let's just mix these together. So it's a really nice English soft goat's cheese I'm using here. Let's pop some chives in there. Now you want to fairly finely slice the chives just so they have that really nice sort of flavour running all the way through, rather than biting into a big piece of chive. And a squeeze of lemon juice. Just use a spoon and just try and delicately place this goat's cheese inside the tomatoes. It looks really messy. I'm making it look hard work. It really isn't. It's very, very straightforward and simple. And the thing is with canapés, if you're doing something like this, obviously you don't have to do all three recipes that I'm showing you. If you want to buy a few little bits, then fine, do. But it is worth going that extra mile. The last thing to go on there is our lumpfish caviar, just a little bit on the top. It sort of really adds that wow factor to it. And I think the croque monsieur is now finally ready as well. That cheese is just starting to melt and ooze out the sides. That's lovely and crispy and golden. Let's just trim into little bite-sized cubes. Now if you can, leave this for a couple of minutes once you've cooked it, because it will cut a lot easier. And there we have three really tasty, simple canapés that certainly beat buying any from the supermarket.